Lesson 12, probably an easy one. Graphs. Usually graphs are used to show big numbers. In our book, they're not so big. So one thing you should always know is the scale. So in a pictograph, they use pictures, and each picture is supposed to be an amount. So like you'll see these when they're talking about big numbers like population. You're talking about millions of people. So a little person will, be on a graph and it'll represent like 1,000,000 people or 100,000 people because you couldn't draw that many. So the title is up top, favorite ice cream flavors. You have the 3 different types, peanut butter, cherry, vanilla, chocolate. The symbols are the ice cream cones, and the key is on the bottom. So that means one of those cones means 4 votes. Usually when I'm on these kinds of problems, I just go ahead and figure them out. Now the hardest part would be to know what a half cone is. So if each full cone is 4 votes, a half cone would be 2 votes. So when I look at peanut butter crunch, I have 1 full cone, 4 people, 1 half cone, 2 people or 2 votes. So I have 6 votes. Now you can clearly see that cherry vanilla got more votes. It had 4, 8, 12, because remember each cone is 4, so that had 12 votes. And then this one would have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 votes. So chocolate would be the most popular flavor. Now when we do the activity today, we're only doing the odd numbers just because it's such a big assignment. There's 6 pages, so we're going to do 3 of these here. So we have 6, 12, and 20. Oops, sorry. 305, and 307. So the questions on this one, now I'm going to go back to my other pictograph that I figured out, just because I think, so 6, 12 votes, 20 votes, just because it's easier for me to go in and actually do these problems. So how many votes were there for chocolate? Well, 20 votes. So this is a little bit different. How many people in all voted for their favorite ice cream? So in all would be all of those votes. So I'm going to let you guys figure that one out. 303, pictographs, pictures, doable. Now the 305 page has to do with bar graphs. So 305 bar graphs. Now bar graphs can be horizontal, meaning they go side to side, or they can be vertical, going up and down. So these are 2 of the bar graphs that you'll see on the next page, 305. So with this one, you have the title. So Mary's Garden, flowers in Mary's Garden. On the left side, you have the kinds of flowers. So there's daisy, zinnia, and tulips. And on the bottom, it's giving you the scale. So the scale is the number of flowers. So each one of these spaces is 2 flowers because it's counting by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So when I look at the red, I can follow that line down and I know that there's 16 of those daisies. Now these all end with a line, so I have 16, 10, and 14. Sometimes it'll end up right in the middle. So in the middle, if it were in the middle of 10 and 12, the middle would be 11 flowers, which sometimes it happens, odd numbers. Okay, so this one, it's vertical. Scale is each one of these, it goes 0, 4, 8, so the scale counts by 4s. Now, if you had a scale that counted by 1s, that graph would have to be a whole lot longer. Same thing if you had to count by 2s. So if you counted by 2s, you'd have twice as many because you'd have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And you'd have to go twice as high to get up to that 40. Or if you counted by 1s, twice as high as that. It'd be really long. So the whole idea with using graphs is that you can see your information easily. So with bar graphs, you guys should be good. So if you look at this one, it'd be 24. So the number of vehicles, the kinds of vehicles. So there's 24 vans, there's 16 trucks, and there's 36 cars. And quickly. Now on the last page, you're back to a pictograph. So this is 307. Now, when you get to the IXL, you'll actually start creating some of these graphs. It's just a little easier to do on your iPads than in the books. So again, this one you have to look at the scale. So it says each one of those music notes is 4 kids. So this is where some of you would use multiplication, because you'd say 4 students is each note. You have 3 notes, so that's 3 times 4 is 12. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 4 is 28. Or you could just keep counting 4s up. Now, what I know is that this many bongos are 28. So if I wanted to count by 4s, I'd do plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, because I have 3 of those music notes left. Now, this one, going back to our word problem days with addition and subtraction, how many more students play guitar than violin? So you'd have to figure out how many guitar, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 guitars. Violins, you have 4, 8, 12. So if you have 20 guitars and you have 12 violins, how many more would be a subtraction problem? So you'd have 8 more. And I'll let you finish it. So make sure you spend some time in IXL. It's good in that you get to see a lot of these kinds of graphs, bar graphs, pictographs. All right, good luck.